Hey, what's up, people? It's your good boy Donald Wonder, Don One, here from Planet Tyro, here to do one of our first new live action videos. Yes, the podcast is over, and we want to start our new video venture on YouTube by giving you our rating system. Now, we've been using this rating system for a couple of years now in all of our discussions and our previous reviews, but since we're on YouTube and we're going to have a whole new audience, I thought it would be a good place to reintroduce the ratings that we use, because I feel that we might get some questions about this in the future. I might be wrong, and some people might not even care to even know about this. But this is also going to give me a chance to play around with some of the video settings we'll be using in the future reviews. So if you're interested, you're here to learn about the reviews. Thanks for watching. It is very self-explanatory, but you're here to watch and I'm here to show you. So thanks for watching, and sit back and enjoy our feature presentation.
Rating systems. Some people hate them, some people love them. Some people think they're overly complicated, and some people think they're overly simplified. Ultimately, you can't satisfy everyone with rating systems. However, we here at Planet Tyro have tried to come up with a system that is more intuitive more than anything else. Meaning, as soon as you hear these phrases, you will know exactly what they mean without any second guessing or any real thought put into it. It's just simple understanding of things, and you understand the level and grading of what these phrases are. Now, many other sites use custom scores, numbers, graphs, charts, and stars. Well, we have opted to just use simplified phrases, and sometimes they're humorous and sometimes they're kind of overly simple, but they get straight to the point. So without further ado, let's first go into each rating individually and then end with an overview and some closing thoughts. Let's start with first class. First class titles are just that, top notch. A great experience and something that is quite highly recommended for anyone. First class titles have elements of clear greatness and originality. Arguable examples, let's say The Avengers, Great Teacher Onizuka, The Forrest Gump, The Lion King, The Matrix movie, the first Matrix movie, not any of the other ones, okay? Alright, so that's a good example of some first class titles. Let's move on to the next rating, Solid B. Now, Solid B titles are very good, enjoyable and entertaining. Something that is not quite outstandingly spectacular, but then again it leaves you feeling like you've not completely wasted your time. And there were actually some good elements, more good elements than bad, to be honest. Now let's think of some examples of this. Let's say the recent Dread movie. Not outstanding, but really good. Source Code, another really good movie. Not outstanding, but very good. The last Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, another really good movie. Not great, but really, really good. So all these things deserve the phrase Solid B as far as we're concerned. Okay, moving on to the next rating. Okay. That's right, people, just okay. This rating has changed a few times, but for those of you who are wondering, we had some other names for this, but we're just going with the middle tier, just calling it okay. It's a very simple phrase for titles that are just alright. Not totally bad, not totally good, and you may even totally forget about these titles after some time. Let's take, for example, it's a Wednesday evening, you're bored, you got nothing else to do, you flick on the TV, and guess what? That show you probably wouldn't pay to watch is on. It's not necessarily bad, it's just getting you through the moment, you know, it's on TV and you're just there. Would you recommend these titles? Possibly. Would you purchase them yourself? Probably not, but hey, these titles, they have their moments and usually they're just not too bad, they're just okay. Now, arguable examples of this is the simplest, to be honest for you. Any of these recent reboot franchises fit the category. For example, the latest Conan remake, it was okay. The latest Total Recall, it was okay. The Clash of the Titans remake and sequel, they were okay. Evil Dead remake, okay. Ocean's 11, 12, 13, all okay. And maybe I'm even being a bit generous about that particular franchise, but generally, just okay. You know, sometimes you just have to call it as it is. It's simple, but it works. Moving on. Now, this next rating we've got a lot of flack about in the past, but I'm really gonna explain this. So people, just stick with me on this one. Vanilla. Yes, we have a phrase called vanilla, a rating called vanilla because it's necessary. Simply put, vanilla are those titles that you've just seen done time and time again, better elsewhere. Now I know some people may think rating something as vanilla is pretty much the same as rating it okay, but vanilla is not okay. It's not okay. Vanilla titles are unimaginative, unoriginal, and in most cases they're just clear examples of carbon copying elsewhere. There's no shame in these titles, they're just so obvious in what they're doing. Minimal effort has been put into here. You know, titles really do deserve a separate rating for doing things this way, and that's why we use the term vanilla, just to group them all together. Now some people would say, you know, some titles can be vanilla but they can also be okay. Nah, when we review stuff on Planet Tower, when we discuss things, we're gonna be choosing one or the other. It's either gonna be vanilla or it's gonna be okay, and it's never gonna be both. That's just what we're gonna do, and it's just for clarification, because to be honest with you, I've never found something that's completely, you know, vanilla to be okay. It's either one or the other with us. Now, as an example for this, more recently, you guys must have seen these two movies that came out, White House Down and Olympus Has Fallen. Two films with the exact same premise. Now, I'm not going to do too much research on this, but Olympus Has Fallen, I believe, came out first with Gerald Butler, and White House Down has Jamie Foxx and Channing Thickneck, whatever his name is, Channing Tatum. And you know, everybody knows Olympus Has Fallen is the most superior movie. It's more enjoyable. It's kind of like Die Hard, White House extermination style. But White House Down is like a goofy, paint by numbers action flick about the president being captured. They're very similar, but again, one of them's vanilla and one of them is okay. And also, if you want to just get more into this, I'm not going to go on and on about this anymore, but if you want arguable examples, just do a search on any kind of type of movie. Like, let's just say heist movie. Do a search on heist movie, and then you'll come up with, let's say, 3 movies: Tower Heist, Ocean's 11, and The Italian Job. Tower Heist, that's going to be vanilla. The Italian Job, that's going to be okay. And Ocean's 11, the first one's going to be a solid B, because that was a really well done remake. That's an explanation of vanilla. I know we get a lot of flack on it, and I assume we're still going to get more flack on it in the future, but I just thought I'd clear it up. Anyway, moving on. Acquired Taste. Another rating we've kind of got flack for in the past, but again, I have to explain. Now, for this rating, Acquired Taste, I'm going to go straight into an example. Mulholland Drive, 2001. Mulholland Drive is a movie that many people hail as a movie classic, with a thought-provoking storyline, excellent characters, and deep inner meanings. Personally, apart from arguably the greatest lesbian sex scene in history, I found the movie to be a combination of weird subplots that resulted in something I did not enjoy very much, but had enough unique elements there for me to at least appreciate it in some respect. And it did give me some food for thought with the hidden meanings and metaphors, but you know, I just was kind of like, Bottom line is, I can definitely see how someone else might enjoy it. In fact, I know a lot of people that love this title and titles of an Acquired Taste standard. Why they would, I can't say for sure. So that's why I would refer to it as an acquired taste. A particular type of person would like this. Now, I know some people say you can say that about any movie, but we're trying to be very specific. Also, when you think about it, this rating would really apply to things like documentaries, where they're really targeted on a specific topic. Something like Michael Moore's Sicko, when he's, you know, discussing the medical industry in America. Very specific topic. A lot of people won't be interested in. I would label that as an acquired taste. So again, it's something that we're probably going to get flack on, but I'm just explaining the rating here, people. Moving on, getting close to the end now, people. Not feeling this. Very simple. Don't like these titles for whatever reason. Not our cup of tea, and we wouldn't recommend these. No sir, we don't like it, and it's not very good. You want some examples? Easy. The latest John Carter remake, the Disney John Carter flop that lost millions of dollars. I've read the book, the Barsoom trilogy, which is actually a really good trilogy I would recommend. The movie's terrible. And I could get into why, but I'll probably save that for a future review. The movie was terrible on its own, forget about the source material. Terrible movie, boring as hell, came 50 years too late. And yeah, next movie that was just not feeling this at all, Avatar live action movie. I don't need to go into why this is terrible. If you like Avatar The Last Airbender, this is atrocious. It just, for me, it was just not feeling this. I've seen things of a worse, lesser quality. It's just a bad movie, and I'll just leave it at that. So there's a lot of movies we don't like, we'll get into it, but simply not feeling this, didn't like it. Black and white, very simple. Okay, so now we've kind of come to the end of the ratings, but now we got two special ratings. The reason why I'm separating these ratings is because these last two ratings is ones that we're not going to be using all the time. We're not just going to dole these ratings out. So I wanted to separate these two from the rest. These are the most emotionally charged ratings that we're going to be using. Now that being Hall of Fame and the Clown Shoes rating. Let's start with Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame, not only are these titles clear first class titles for us personally, but they are also so loved we consider them masterpieces that we keep in our super high vault collection. You know, that glass cabinet you've got where sports people keep all their trophies and all their winnings and accolades and all that stuff, you know, records on the wall. And this is the titles that you would say the best of the best for you personally. And obviously it's a very subjective rating that we would only use for something we would absolutely adore. And if you want some examples of this, Fight Club for me is a Hall of Fame. The Life of Pi, the book, is a Hall of Fame. Akira, the movie, is a Hall of Fame. Toy Story, Hall of Fame. Avatar The Last Airbender, the animated series, is a Hall of Fame series. So those are some examples of things that I consider Hall of Fame. But again, very subjective, and I'm not going to be doling this rating out because it is basically the highest rating I could give something. And most of the time, I would just rate it first class because we're trying to generalize more than anything else. Anyway, the opposite scale of things is Clown Shoes. Now, I know this is a very weird rating. Clown Shoes? What the hell is Clown Shoes? Where did you guys come up with that name? Well, first of all, there is a definition, an online definition for this, but I'll just explain. You know, Clown Shoes, as the name alludes to, is titles that are a walking joke. You've got to be fucking kidding me when you watch it. You know, that's what you're thinking when you see this shit. This can't be real. Sadly, it's not a joke. This shit is the bottom of the barrel. No one in their right mind should like this. You may remember this phrase from a movie that not a lot of people actually like, Kevin Smith's Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. It was actually used to describe them and their movies by some kid. It's a really funny scene. I wish I could put a link to it, but I'm not going to bother just because I don't want to get any content ID on YouTube or anything. So, but yeah, it's a really funny scene. Some kid tells them that they're fucking clown shoes, and you know, ever since we heard that, we just started using it. It's really funny and it's very apt. If you guys want an online definition for clown shoes, because there's actually one in the Urban Dictionary and some other websites, here we go. Clown shoes indicates that a person, thing, or activity is ridiculous, a joke, not worthy of respect, silly, excessive, gaudy, exaggerated to the sake of comedic or dramatic effect, lacking nuance, depth, trite, cliche, stereotypical, or oversimplified concept of an idea. It's completely ridiculous in its appearance or existence. It's a walking joke. It's unimportant, without need or consideration, something blatantly stupid. You want some examples? I'll give you an example. The movie Inappropriate Comedy. It's fucking clown shoes. The anime series The Master of Martial Arts. It's fucking clown shoes. Dragon Ball Evolution. It's fucking clown shoes. Alright, so that's pretty much it for the ratings. Let's just take a look at the ratings in total. Take a look at this little picture here, so you can see all the ratings and you can see them from high to low. Some of them obviously are kind of on a grading scale, some of them are just more descriptive more than anything else, but either way we got a nice wide spectrum to label everything. And it's not perfect, no review system is, but you know, that's what we're going to use. So let me just end on some final thoughts. Let's move back to the live action.
Hey, so there you have it. Rating system explained, for better or for worse. Now, I said this before, nothing's ever perfect, but we did come up with this rating system with a lot of other people, not just our own opinions, and it has proved very, very useful in the past. And one other thing I do want to say, although we do have a rating system, and a lot of other sites do, like Rotten Tomatoes, IMDb, whether you use stars, charts, whatever, people on YouTube like Movie Night use rating systems as well. When you judge a rating or watch a review, please just listen to everything we said. Don't just take the very last phrase we use as the be all and end all of the review. It's not it. It's just a simplified way to wrap things up. But please, everything, the review is the details that we've mentioned. That's the most important thing. I'm not trying to be condescending to you guys. I'm just saying that, ratings serve a purpose, a lot of purposes, but never overlook the actual review, the content that we put into this, because that's the most important thing. Ratings are for fun, more than anything else. I'm not going to lie. Let's be transparent about this. Ratings are, to help promote your own brand, to get people to use what you're saying, to obviously come to an agreement on, the finalization of what you think of a thing. But, anyway, just listen to all the reviews. And that goes for every review, not just our stuff, every site, But anyway, I think that's enough preaching for one video. If you stuck through the whole video, thanks for watching. Leave all your comments below. But I got a feeling that we'll be disagreeing or debating the ratings more on the reviews themselves and not on this particular video. This is just a little tester, a little taster for the newbies, the new people. And yeah, that's it. So anyway, let's wrap this up. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Late.
Now, just to let you know, this guy who's taking this video is the best guy in the whole world. Well, maybe not the very best guy in the whole world, but he's real close to that.
Oh, thank
you,
sir.
treat him with respect, care, and give him all your money. How about that?
Highly appreciated, my man. Good salesman.
Well, some of them.
And you speak the truth.
Well, yeah, to some extent.